Greetings everyone, please give a moment to make sure everything's set on up. Looks like Rumble is booting on up. Twitch is booting on up. Oops, actually Rumble, I used the wrong live stream. Oops. Turn that off. I did the Advanced Wars by, or is Ruin rather than by web. There we go, that should fix that. I may have screwed up the live stream on Rumble. Okay. It's still having... There it goes. Let me just go ahead and delete those bad live streams from Rumble. Okay, that should clean up the Rumble. In the meantime, let's go ahead and get YouTube up and going. YouTube is up and going. And looks like Rumble should be going. Yep, Rumble is going. YouTube is going. Twitch is going. Twitter is going. And Kick is all going. So it looks like everything's going online. Time to activate the chat windows. Yep, let's go on there. And there we go. And yep, that's all online. Give me a moment to check my other computer. And looks like that's all going good. So let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, and Great here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Spawn, let's see, top right side, or just top side is the Cobalt Ice Olaf. We got Wulong. Spawn south side is the Green Earth Eagle. We got Metemon. Not sure how you pronounce the E with the accent. Either way, this is... I think this is actually not the Global League. This may have been... Live League. No, it's Global League because it took 10 days. No, either way, let's go ahead and get started. Oops, I forgot to turn my macros. There we go. This is a 3-base map of a strong weak side mechanic. Looks like he threw a machine gun round into that pipe scene for some odd reason. I suppose it does take couple turns to get over here, so just one there, right there, gets 1 point of extra damage, which sometimes does matter. Especially when Eagle has less damage on his, well, naval units. His ground units are completely and utterly ordinary, so perfectly fine. Same thing with Olaf as well. He is just enough unaffected by snow. So both their ground games are the same. Eagle, of course, has the powerful Lightning Strike, which can be immense, but Olaf may be the best CO to help counter Lightning Strike with the usage of Blizzard as well as Winter Fury. Because nothing says a bad Lightning Strike when you are slowed down. You have early Mag deployed by Olaf. He may be on to dislodge the Recon up there. Both players do start a Recon down here. Give you a little bit of scouting going on, and also does could slow down your opponent's game by giving them a target. Recon Rush does hit the, I want to say villager, infantry unit down south, and nothing here to stop at the moment. This tank is at least a turn behind. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It can end its turn on top of that forest tile. His own recon special for it. There's a good number of shores here, so there's a lot of easy traversement for wheeled vehicles such as recon, so this is not a bad map for a recon rush. We do now have an artillery piece deployed in the field, and the mech did take a shot onto the recon. It would just take a little bit extra time to just take it out because of the damage received, but it will still take 3 turns. I don't think that mech's going to take 3 points of damage from Form Health Recon, it's just on top of a mountain. And Eagle's tank does engage Olaf's recon. And the recon does go down, and does throw a mech around into as well. So Olaf's going quite heavy on mechs on the strong side. Why I call it a strong side, weak side? Because we've got two bases here versus 1 base. Airport can go either direction, but it's not always guaranteed you produce alpha. Usually it's guaranteed you at least deploy out infantry unit. And you should generally always deploy out something from each base, a minimum infantry unit. And oh, that's a nice little flanking shot there. Now the tank could advance way forward. This will open up the path, allow Blue or Cobalt to head down south pretty quickly. And Olaf does bring back his recon and put on top of the city there. Maybe not really worth it. It's just a recon, they're pretty cheap, and they're only really useful at this point in time for just scouting. I think he should have not have put his recon back in the city. I think he should just probably keep the forest and use it as a spotting tool. Because it'll take quite a bit of time to just get that repaired enough, and it looks like Eagle's going to barrage the recon with an artillery piece instead. The mech is definitely a cheaper option and acts as his own capturing squad. So Olaf may be able to capture the city in this case, far quicker than Eagle, because Eagle doesn't have an infantry unit in position, even if he does take out the recon next turn. We've got a lot of artillery deployed by Olaf. He has gone for battlecopter as well. Eagle's battlecopter in the field. Comm tower is still not yet captured. He could interrupt it even further. And decides not to put the tank into the opponent's tank. It may have been a good idea to strike the tank there. For our cast of vision, we know they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so it would be in range for retaliation. It's a good thing he didn't. Got multiple artillery pieces down south for Eagle as well as another tank and battlecopter. And this mech will get resupplied next turn. Howdy. Nope, comm towers are not contested. He could interrupt it, but he did not, which is probably a good idea rather than trying to sack something for it. Anti-air, battlecopter, infantry, and infantry. Olaf has one anti-air as well, which is quite understandable. He's fighting against Eagle. Mech push away forward, so this relatively slow mech is starting to make its way to the front line, as well as this one. And Olaf does have 2 battlecopters as well. His battlecopter is completely and utterly ordinary, which means very good. Does interrupt the capture there. Right now, Olaf has 23,000 versus 22,000. And does destroy the pipe seam there with the support of the battlecopter. Black Boat is in the region, which will cause some mobility issues, as well as able to resupply stuff if needed, and a bit of rearming. Does use double artillery to take out that pipe seam. Does not take out this tree unit there. Can do a bit of a joint capture there. And he does it in turn of battlecopter, recon, anti-air, and infantry. Takes out the recon there, and knocks out the infantry unit as well. Looks like Olaf doesn't have too much vision down south. Takes out the pikes north, and that's a mega tank. I was not paying attention to how much money he was storing up. Holy crap. That's probably going to be a hard lockdown on his weak side. But with our Casa Vision, it's probably not a really good idea to get out of Mega Tank. Because look what's on the field over here. Really a whole lot of nothing for a Mega Tank. I don't like it. At this point in time, a medium tank probably would have been adequate. But of course, this is with our Casa Vision. Also, dropping a Mega Tank right now. I was not expecting that. His now left flank is secure. Just need to make sure it stays well supplied, and this Black Boat is still on top of HQ, believe it or not. A lot of players tend to move the Black Boat off, help transport push infantry forward, but not this Olaf. A lot of weights. Tank ain't here, leaving 700 funds remaining. Olaf starts to turn 25,000, so you can go for a Neo Tank and or Bomber. You could push with the Mega Tank. There's a lot of things you can do with the Mega Tank. Like run out of ammo. Recon push forward does get a good strike down the Recon, does take it out. Mega Tank, he hasn't moved off the Black Boat of HQ either, so it's not like he wants to put it there. True. Yep. Oh, he just did as well, so I have no idea. Tank, Battlecopter, infantry. And he saves 7,000 funds. Is he going to go for another Mega Tank? We'll get some good strikes there. He drops 2 captures, still 23-23. Decent number of despicable neutral properties. Got these 2, as was Mirror 2. He has not seen Mega Tank. Of course, Mega Tank's not like the most agile of units. Quite opposite. Artillery, Battlecopter, Tank, Infantry. Both players are very far away from this power, or from the superpower. And it's not been super aggressive both sides, so power charge will remain low. With the Mega Tank here, Olaf may make the first move. Got Recon, Infantry, Anti-Air. Saving up 17,000? Is he going for Battlecopter? Yep, Battlecopter. Just 8,000 bank, so you can go for a lot of good stuff. Just got the front line being formed. If Olaf attacks, he has to make sure Winter Fury gets popped, because the chance of a Lightning Strike to counter would be quite likely. But thing as well, Lightning Strike, if he does launch attack, doesn't have to go too far forward to get the strike on in, so. Did not take time to resupply the infantry on the top of HQ, so I'm probably going to let it wait there and get healed up over turn, maybe? Not sure. Tank, Battlecopter. Infantry, tank. Olaf may need to get out some more recon over here. He's having trouble pushing forward. He's having trouble seeing down south. Only has 1 recon at the moment. Tanks do have decent spotting, but not perfect. And does stop from the contractor being captured, forcing a response by Eagle. So I'm feeling Olaf will advance on this flank relatively soon. When I say relatively soon, I mean next turn. Tank. In here, tank. Takes the recon of the artillery piece. We got lightning drive there. Probably won't see it this game. Lightning strike's so powerful, and lightning drive makes it very difficult to be useful. Plus, you don't have enough aircraft on the field to make it useful. Does get a good strike there. Takes out the infantry unit there, and machine guns the artillery a little bit more. Takes out that unit there. Resupplies the artillery piece. Mega Tank gets on top of the HQ. Another Battlecopter. Got a lot of Battlecopters by Olaf. Is that 50 units? Is that the max on this map? Olaf's actually at build cap. He went for double base skip because he's at build cap. How is he gonna... None of these players should really be... COs should get build cap unit limit. But it has happened this game. And Eagle may push forward. There's a possibility of Lightning Strike. Needs to do a lot of damage, but this game's been relatively bloodless. Which means a lot of targets he can take out. Olaf will get his Winter Fury next turn. Gets a good strike there on the artillery piece. Will he get his Lightning Strike? Winter Fury is available. Lightning Strike still needs a lot more damage done. I don't know if he's get it. He's still pretty far away. Nowhere close. Eagle ends turn with nice even 200,000, 300 funds to field. Olaf starts turn with 175, and the Winter Fury will do at minimum 40,000 damage. So I think this is a turn where Olaf wins. Dun, 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 dun. So let's see. Battlecopter strikes Battlecopter. Somehow did not take it out. Eagle's defense kicked in. A lot of infantry going down, minor victories. Boost for the infantry in there to spot the artillery piece, I believe. Oops. Megatank scores his first kill against infantry unit. How useful. It's a good strike there. A lightning strike is available. Don't know if Eagle have enough steam for a good lightning strike. It's all gonna come down how well Eagle can make his lightning strike in next turn. And a lot of good strikes there. Takes out a good number of artillery pieces. And looks at this last assault. He did have 36,000 tank, anti-air, battlecopter, anti-air. And now Eagle went from 200,000 down to 107, so he just nearly lost 50% of his forces. Olaf ends the turn of 100 to 207. Possibly, he needed to stall out. If he's going to make a assault, he had to get the lightning strike, and he was nowhere near close. He was down by 20,000 funds, which means he had to do another 40,000 funds of damage, which is not necessarily easy. Can Eagle stabilize the game? He has to. He has to pop his lightning strike in the snow. He is hurt and bad. He has only this turn to turn the game around. It's a good strike there. Over here is just mostly artillery piece. There's not too much left in this region. Takes up the mech. Resupplies battlecopter, recon, battlecopter, artillery. Now here comes a lightning strike. Only thing, this Olaf's flank over here is not too particularly strong. Eagle can crush through this. Problem is the mega tank, but as well as this is the HQs are on the weak sides, and they're both winning the weak side. Looks like. Did he manage to take out that unit there with 2 health artillery piece there? Takes the battlecopter. Good strike there. Artillery just pushed forward. Good strike there. Let's take out that unit. That +10 allowed him to get the one shot. Oops, keep on hitting right click. I think Eagle's actually starting to win the game. Instead of 137,000 field, Olaf has 112. Eagle turned it around. Problem is, it's still a mega tank here. Olaf still has a very firm grasp over here. There's nothing but the Mega Tank. But Eagle effectively won this flank for now. Throwing some units away a little bit. Neo Tank, that would be useful to stabilize the region. He has an AT in the region, so it'll help deal with battlecopters, and sends his own battlecopter over there. Olaf ends turn 135,000 field. Eagle has 114, still going back and forth. It's back down to day-to-day funding difference. Yeah, Lightning Strike is strong. Oops, keep on hitting right click. My hand gets heavy and just hits right click. And it looks like Olaf did manage to capture a property, 24,000, and may capture this one as well. And Eagle's just falling back, regroup his forces. Infantry, mech, battlecopter, infantry. Looks like he stored a bit of funds there, so maybe a bomber next turn. Mega Tank has not been super great this turn. So far, it's got off 2 infantry units and a tank. Not necessarily spectacular. But now, if Eagle mounts a sizable assault over here, the Mega Tank will be a good hard counter. Eagle's turn. Olaf has a little bit of power charge to his name. Eagle has basically nothing. Trying to capture up those despicable neutrals. Creep his way forward. Neo Tank is in the region and does have support of tank and battlecopters. Olaf has a very good force over here. But Eagle does have a very good number of battlecopters. Olaf does have 2 battlecopters alone and an anti-air, so he has counters. And there's an Eagle Mega Tank. Winter Fury would be a good way to counter the Mega Tank, but a Lightning Strike is also a good way to counter a Mega Tank. Takes out the basically knocks out the artillery piece. Did not manage to get a strike there and that kill off the recon. Thought that's pretty reliable for comm tower. I just need a closer to a max luck roll, I guess. So we need good luck to finish it off. Infantry. Another Neotank infantry, so it looks like Olaf's going to be producing Neotanks to smash through this region. Eagle could try swarming Neotank with battlecopters, but there's plenty of regular tanks to be hit by battlecopters. And Olaf's battlecopter still back here, looks appear to be hidden. Hard to say. I think Olaf doesn't want to go overextend himself. Because in those big conflicts, he had lacking vision. Sometimes a good idea is to back off because you don't know what you're going to run into. Looks like Neotank was hit pretty hard, getting Olaf a decent amount of power charge. It looks like Eagle's starting to pull ahead. And it's turn 166. Olaf starts turn 158, but he has 27,000 in the bank. So he's probably going to go for more Neotanks, maybe a bomber. Nope. Speak for the YouTube description. I still need to figure out a way to log all the YouTube descriptions that may pop up. Tank engage tank. Neotank just falls back to the city. I'd say 7 health would be a good minimum to push forward. 5 health is usable. I think 7 health is a good minimum. Tank. And recon. So it's keeping 9,000 bank or battlecopter? Battlecopter. Artillery strikes the anti-air there, which is quite nice. The anti-air means Eagle's battlecopters can rain more screen, and looks like Eagle knocks out Olaf's battlecopters, at least a good number of them on the right flank. There's still one back here, plus the anti-air as well. Winter Fury is now available, which will be particularly devastating towards the Mega Tank. You may need to keep it on top of that city. The following turn will probably end up on the Lightning Strike, but then maybe the turn afterward he actually pops it out of the Winter. Infantry. Winter Fury just put out infantry and weather the storm. A very cold storm. Winter Fury has been summoned. Of course, doing quite a bit of damage there. I'm not sure how accurate this is, but suggests to be 113 versus 155. Usually this is overinflated when it's not the player's turn. There's always some fog of war issues when it comes to funds up there. Just wait till the start of turn. They set the battlecopter, only leaving with this one 8-health battlecopter, which is going to be out of range. Lightning Strike is available, and the last one was excellent. I don't know how this next one will go. Is that a good number of those outlying units? And Eagle actually resigned during Olaf's turn. Alrighty then. Yeah, this is the problem when it comes to Eagle versus Olaf matchups. It always feels bad to pop a Lightning Strike during your opponent's winter. Either way, this Angerade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Oops, I actually forgot to hit record for that one, so this one's going to be only live stream only. No! YouTube upload, unless I want to take time and splice it off of the live stream. Give me a moment to set up the live stream for this. That should be good. No, that seems pretty good. Wait, no, the side of the map is skimmed off. I say that's pretty good. Either way, let's go ahead and get started. Greetings everyone, Angerade here for another Advanced Wars by Web replay. So on the north side is the Pink Cosmos Javier. We got Mr. Stomach Pain. On the south side as the Cobalt, what's this, Azure Asteroid Sasha, we got Gray Fox. Spawn as the Gray Sky Gray Sasha, we got Gray Fox. I'm going to do that joke every single time because that has the name Gray, it's going to be Gray. So, let's take a look at this map. This is not a Fog of War map. It is a triple base map with an airport in the sides. Do have a seaport here, but that is surrounded by shores and land. So only black boats and landers can be utilized. However, you can always still have a static battleship there. And we got an early recon by Sasha. That's interesting. I wasn't paying attention to the build queue, but it seems a little bit early. And also not Fog of War. This map does offer a good number of shores, so it's very good traversement possible for the recon. So have no problem cruising the front line. Of course, Javier deploy a tank. Wasn't somebody, I think it was a previous live stream that somebody was asking, can I do a Javier match? Usually I try to set aside the replays beforehand, but not many people play Javier. And especially I can see somewhat understanding Javier's a little bit map dependent. This map only has 2 comm towers, 1 for each player. So he's going to have passive plus 10% defense, which is nice and all. Whoops, I keep on right clicking. So it's not going to be too spectacular with his day-to-day passive. And his power and power will be quite gimped. He's basically a CEO who requires a minimum of 2 comm towers, but in this case, I suppose he can rely on his plus 1% indirect defense, which could be quite nice. Dissuading Sasha from perhaps deploying out some artillery, and particularly rockets. Don't go for rockets in this case. Day 3 recon, do you think they deny the comm tower? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No. 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Nope. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. It probably can't. Sorry, I was just doing a bit of counting there. My rough estimate is probably a no. Well, it can always park on your own comm tower and deny it to yourself. But that's probably not what you're referring to. Good strike there. Interrupts the capture, leaving his own entry of 1 HP, which can be a decent meat shield. Javier does have 2 tanks here versus Sasha's 1, so Sasha can't push forward or tank this region, or she will lose it. At least lose it ineffectively. Artillery infantry forward may just try to capture this property, may decide to just retaliate, 0 defense stars there. Tank infantry does have another tank over here. This tank just probably just keep us distance from these tanks here. Do now have a battle copter deployed in the field by Javier. He does finish off the infantry unit there with a 1 health infantry unit. 2 tanks here. And Javier's backup is a little bit too far away, so this tank will need to continue falling back away from these tanks. And does capture its own comm tower now. A little bit late in its own comm tower capture, but doesn't appear to be really necessary except for this fight over here. And it's going to take time to shoot that one. He will have this reinforcement tank nearby and this one here. So he's going to try to get a free shot here, because if Sasha retaliates, she will be retaliated even further. Oops. I actually hit the wrong button. I actually hit the previous turn button. Yeah, it's been a long day. I'm actually a little bit tired right now. Those days where I got my 10,000 steps in, that's for sure. So yeah, right now I'm even having trouble keeping my fingers up. That's why I've been accidentally right-clicking and accidentally hitting other buttons, because right now I've mapped it so my WASD is mapped to the next turn buttons and next action button. Very handy. That way I can focus on talking, I hit next turn while having the mouse point stuff on the map. Artillery does struck the infantry there, getting some damage. Recon at least will interrupt him from capturing, but it probably will be a machine gun down next turn. Battlecopter. And does another capture there. Infantry tank. Javier only has his own battlecopter engaged with battlecopter mode, so he probably needs to get anti-air, and gotta be careful about this anti-air as well. Takes off that infantry unit there, effectively knocking out, gets a good strike there in the tank. Takes up the tank there, and now gives Sasha a market crash. Huh. Give me a moment to think about market crash against Javier. There's only 1 comm tower, so Tower Shield will give him plus 10% offense and defense, not to mention plus 10 offense and defense for activating a power and or superpower. While Tower Power will give him plus 20%, or effectively in total plus 30% in total. Which is nice. It's actually, even with 1 comm tower, is a little bit weak, but still not too bad. I think it also increases indirect defense per tier, which she's probably going to avoid going for indirect fire units in general, though she does have 1 on the field. Is this a matchup where you could actually eye for war bonds? But it's not high funds. War bonds does better in high funds situation because of you get a bit more refund. Not sure. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, well, I know what she thought. She decides to pop the market crash there with 5,000. Wait, doesn't that? Yeah, she popped it before or after spending. That really new to the capability, right? Tell me, what do you guys think? Do you guys will try to go for Market Crash or War Bonds against Javier with one comm tower? Market Crash is probably generally a little bit more reliable, but that was a horrible Market Crash. At that point in time, pops the Tower Shield, immediately pops the power. So it gets plus 10, or effectively plus 20 this turn, which is a nice bit of extra stats. So far, Javier is in great position. Tanks in the middle of the map. Tank there. Infantry, another tank. Sasha's turn. And it's 23,000 in the field, so probably won't be going for a Neo tank this turn. Generally, I understand why people say War Bonds is bad, but it's also not a high threat superpower like most others that she's fighting against. Good strike there. The Battle Cup to help even out the fight. We'll take up. Oh! The extra defense from the power did actually save it from attack there. So it was actually doing some. The power is actually doing some decent work this turn. And wait, did that 7 health artillery just only do? Actually, look at that. It called. Oh yeah, because the extra indirect damage, indirect fire damage. That's why. Because you get up to what, plus 40% additional defense. Here, I don't remember exactly how much indirect defense he provides. Let's see, increases indirect defense to plus 40%. That's not too terribly bad. So his power and superpower is good fighting indirect units. I feel like Vombo will be good on this map since it has a lot of cities plus a Sasha Kaboli with the plus 10% attack. True. Good shot there. Takes out that tank. Marker Crash is available, and Javier deploys out a medium tank. Infantry. So, looks like Javier is trying to capture a despicable neutral property, or Sasha is, and trying to flip a property. Mark Crash popped, which completely gets rid of all power charge, and also give her plus 10 this turn. And her Neo Tank goes 4. The medium tank can be a counter Neo Tank. Gonna be difficult the first strike though. Get some good shots there. ATR is in range of the battle copter though. Join capture, railroad capture. Thing as well, does Sasha want to interrupt the captures or take out the battle copter? Battlecopter. Good strike there. Yeah, that's probably the more hidden aspect of Javier, able to resist indirects. Because as a mechanic, you don't usually have to worry about indirect defense. Javier is the only one with that mechanic. Because after all, Sasha just simply can't go for artillery. It nullifies part of her composition that, well, what most COs tend to put on the field. That's probably the real strength of Javier, not necessarily the comm towers, it's denying the use of indirects. So I would assume he does not great versus Max, but does well versus other more generalist COs. It's definitely a mechanic I just don't know how to attribute a lot of stuff to. Takes the battlecopter, interrupts that capture, but this one will be flipped. And this probably should be interrupted by this infantry. I kept on wanting to say this is a villager because last game cast was Age of Empires 4. Tank, 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 a trio of tanks. So yeah, Javier may be one of the few COs who can punch into a indirect wall and actually take the hits. He's definitely a unique CO to say the least. Almost all the COs are pretty unique. Neo Tank here could go more southwards or more. Probably should start heading towards the middle of the map. While I try to zone out that medium tank. Medium tank can strike out here, so maybe put the Neo Tank atop the bridge. Pops the Market Crash, which denies the tower shield, leaving him with a 0.2 at the end. But Heresy is that. Some good damage there. Anti-air strikes the infantry unit and takes it out. This property will be captured. T-copter, that's interesting. Infantry, anti-air infantry. So it's like Sasha's going to try to push infantry forward. Right now she's at 23,000, so she has a 3,100 income advantage. Quite nice. Good strike there. I have a feeling it's going to get the Palau's power, not this turn, but maybe the following. Can't really be saving up for a superpower against Sasha. Though that could allow her medium tank to pursue the Neo tank with the extra defense. Battlecopter infantry, infantry tank. Battlecopter strikes the tank, and tank gets knocked out. We've now got a tower shield available. And looks like she's going to try to convince the medium tank to strike the Neo tank. With a tower shield, I'm not sure how well this will go. Let's see what he does. Pushing down south first, trying to get some power charge going. Probably not going for it this turn. Yep, looks like no tower shield this turn. Battlecopter, medium tank does fall back. Tank, infantry, and infantry. Sasha's turn. Neo tank heads up north. Right now Javier does a 120,000 versus 117, so it's day-to-day difference. Triple boost. Onto the HQ as well. Battlecopter, tank, anti-air, infantry. Sasha still has a slight income lead. One captures there. Takes out that unit there. Do have only one healthy tank here, other two wounded tanks. Strikes up there, interrupts the capture even further. Battlecopter, tank, infantry, artillery. Takes out that unit. Tank strikes tank. Tank does not take out tank. I think possible Tower of Power next turn. maybe Tower Shield this turn, so hard to say exactly what he's going to go for. Possibly Market Crash to pull it out next turn, so he should either go pop the Tower Shield this turn, or try go with Tower Power this turn. Don't think he should save his Power Charge because of the Market Crash. Oops. Okay, it looks like the replay bugged out a little bit. Oh wait. The replay's bugging out a little bit. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. Not going, I think. The replay may have bugged out a little bit. Let me refresh the page. Did the replay bug out? I'm just opening a new tab. And the replay? Yep, and looks like Javier did in fact resign there. I noticed some of the next turns wasn't popping up, so it looks like Javier did resign that turn. Either way, this is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Yep, I noticed sometimes the replays were bugging out where this player's turn didn't pop up. That's probably the same thing that happened there. Either way, let's go on to the next replay. Oops, that was the same replay. Oops. Alright, give me a moment to get this going and all fixed. Relatively tall, skinny map. But either way, let's get started. Greetings everyone, Angrade here for another Advance Wars by Web replay. Spawn on the north side as the... Actually, no, spawn on the south side as the Purple Lightning Jets. We've got ATF 99999999999. I think I said it right now, number 9. Spawn on the north side as the Amber Blaze Jake. We've got Muji 6. This map is a little bit weird. You can see here, North player starts out with no bases, so he needs to capture one. Southern player does start with one base and will need to capture the other one. And also technically start with 3 bases, but that's not going to be important. This also does give possibly Northern player some extra income. Because right now, Jake starts to turn 3,000 funds, won't be able to pull anything out, puts a round into the pipe scene. And just starts out the game with 6,000 funds. And of course has only one base. Probably should go for infantry, of course. But yeah, starts out as income lead, and while orange are the infantry lead, I don't know what to make of the map. You think Jess would be a good pick for the map? Probably, yeah. There's also a lot of planes for Jake as well, and these two COs are relatively similar with small differences. Jake, of course, gets bonus damage from attacking for planes, while Jess gets plus 10% firepower from attack for vehicles. And everything else gets minus 10% attack, barring foot soldiers. Goes for recon, artillery. Both players do start with black bolt on top of their HQ as well. Tanks breaking the way through. An artillery piece here to remove the threat there. Jess just kept her tank on top of the city last turn to get extra defense. Jake may be able to break out in time. Down 24 health. Tank, infantry. Artillery piece in range, but out of vision range. Which is going to be a bit of a problem there. Tank's also getting pretty low on ammo. There's an infantry unit there. 9 health remaining. Takes out the tank there. So I'm not sure if a wounded tank can take out the pipe scene next turn. Be getting close. And just as infantry unit there is advancing towards the comm tower. Yeah, this map's a little bit weird, so I'm having trouble comprehending it. Oh, that was a great strike there. The boosted strike from hitting a vehicle really put a good number on that tank. If you control the middle, then you can literally front shift your vehicles wherever they need to go. I can see that. Because this map, the two faces here, does take a bit of time to get on out. You got a pipe seam here, and of course got the long way around there. Getting control of the center would be very nice. This pipe seam will definitely need to go to allow more easy access to the center of the map. Anything just falls back on top of the city there. Unable to break on through. Drops a capture there. Of course, there's a lot of planes for Jake to get his attacks, and it also does affect his battlecopters. This map is good for battlecopters. It is 2 base and 1 airport, suggesting to me there's going to be a decent number of battlecopters deployed on the field. Get some good strikes there. Booster strike from the planes as well, so the pipe seam's down to 40 health. Yeah, keep on accidentally hitting right click today. There's a tank there, relatively free, though Jake has no tank in the region. He does spot some other stuff over here, with the infantry and recon nearby. Comm tower captured, or being captured. Takes up the pipe seam there. Tank managed to break on through. Very good position there. There's a good strike there. Now the other tank can push forward and engage it. Maybe the recon could as well. Not sure how much this would do. Depending on what fractional health could possibly take it out. There's a good shot there. Decides to finish off the recon. That's probably a good idea. Now I have a turbocharge available, which will give just plus 10% firepower on our vehicles and plus 1 movement range, as well as resupply and refuel everything. So there's going to be no chance for our black boats to sink due to the lack of fuel. Recon tank by Jess takes up that infantry unit there. And now Jake has his beatdown available, which will give his plus planes bonus goes from plus 10 plus 20%. Additionally increases his indirect fire range by 1 as a weird bonus. Pipe seam getting triple tapped and knocked out this turn. Jess has a very good number of tanks and artillery pieces there. Her artillery does get plus 10 firepower. They are in fact a ground vehicle. Another pair of tanks spotted by Jess. And Jake is actually going for a train of mechs, since he's not limited to his mechs can get bonus firepower on planes. Of course, they're mechs, so they're slow. They're good versus everything, but they get countered by everything. And if Jess charges forward with a bunch of tanks, his mechs could do some good work. But they're, of course, very slow. Jake does have only 1 or 2 pieces of increased range. Interrupts the capture comm tower. He's not started capturing up this comm tower here. Boost there. And resupplies him for a unit there. Give them some bit more rations. Mechs try and position themselves for a counterattack. It looks like Jess has no vision of those mechs there. Does have vision of the mechs now. Go strike on the recon. Battlecopter infantry. Jess right now has 100,000 on the field versus Jake's 92, so she's starting to put a bit of a nice advantage. Starting to capture that comm tower now, and looks like there's nothing in the region that interrupt it. Dogfighting a little bit too much, but that's with our caster vision. Jake doesn't have full vision of the map, of course. Even takes time to put around to the pipe seam, not really necessary. In actuality, it's actually getting relatively low in ammo, so it should just save his ammo. I don't see any reason why to pop the pipe seam open. Could allow better traversing from infantry getting out this base there, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the only reason why I can say that popping a pipe seam would be useful right now is to allow better deployment of infantry there. Jess is trying to front switch, which Jake is actually can push up on both sides. This side's a little bit slower with the mechs, and has good amount of tanks over here. Doesn't have good vision in this region. Maybe hopefully get a recon top that forest. And those he decides to fall back. Jake does have 18,000 funds on the field. Jess has just 8 or 18,000 income versus Jess's 15. Battlecopter, artillery, infantry. Jess's medium tank now pushing on the left flank. Got a couple more tanks. You probably genuinely want to try to avoid holding back against heal. Not saying it's a bad idea to do necessarily, but usually the idea you should generally try avoiding. It looks like Jess trying to amass tank force there and blitz through the left flank. Jake does have a good number of tanks here and battlecopters. Jess has no anti-air in the map, so her only anti-air right now is a single battlecopter. This is the big problem right now with Jess's composition. She is lacking anti-air. And Jake does not realize how well his battlecopter advantage is. Jess, of course, does lose out 10% firepower on our battlecopters, which is not too terrible. They're actually probably perfectly fine. Tank anti-air, so she finally gets out anti-air. Both players almost have their superpower. Both players will get +2 movement range with their superpower. And I always forget, it's just vehicles for Jake that gets and vehicles gain +2 movement, so it should exclude battlecopters. He has a bit of a hodgepodge of abilities. Planes affect both air and ground units, then he has bonuses improve indirects on just max range, and then he has +2 movement range on land land vehicles, and now has a blowout bomber. So yeah, that can be quite powerful and get boosted strikes from planes. Can easily take out the single anti-air. So Jake's air advantage is going to be very important, I'll say, in the upcoming battle. He also has the comp tower, Jess does not, so quite well. Jess is pushing forward. Gotta be careful, because right now, if too many things get put on the front line, Jake can get his superpower and get a +2 move range to reach his opponent. Not meant to get bonus damage. Right now, Jake just needs to do 11,000 damage or funds behind, so just need to do 22,000 worth of damage, which is perhaps feasible. We may see a superpower this turn. Does get a good strike there with his artillery. Battlecopter takes that out, and that's just a superpower. Jake needs 5,000 more damage done, so 10,000 more damage done. And here comes the Block Rock. Here comes the Block Rock. Is he not going for it this turn? And great, got a spam bot on Twitch. Give me a moment. So I just had to get rid of that spam bot. So there's going to be no block turn. We will see an overdrive. So one of her anti-airs will charge for this one. Maybe out of range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8. So yeah, 1 interior within range of Battlecopter. Oh, pops on the overcharge. Turbocharge. Which can be a good idea. It can be a 1-2 punch. And sometimes that's all you need as well. Plus movement range is quite nice. Strikes a lot of good target strikes there. Does spot the artillery piece there. Puts a good round into the battlecopter. Both these battlecopters will go down this turn. Anti-air strikes the battlecopter there. Good strike there. It does not take out the artillery piece, so this artillery piece will be in range of the medium tank, so we'll get a great strike there. We'll get boosted from planes, but able to strike the medium tank is very useful. Max in range of the tank over here. Jess inserted for 141, Jake starts for 119, and he has a lot of valuable assets here, so we're going to see the block rock this turn. Jess can follow up with another turbocharge this turn. Let's see how well Jake does this turn, and let's see how well Jess weathers the storm. Strikes the tank there, not the medium tank. Maybe it's going to try to use the bomber against the medium tank, which probably should one-shot it. Recon does not get shot there, just a recon run. Medium tank finished off that unit there. Battlecopter takes up Battlecopter. Maxwell, he gets plus 30% firepower from attacking from planes. Armor won't reach the anti-air. He knows about this anti-air there, so it's in range. Okay, puts a good round, takes out the anti-air. 1 health tank finish it off. So it does not target down the medium tank, though the medium tank's basically out of support. The only thing I don't like about this last one is the medium tank was left untouched. Let's see how Jess starts the turn from 93,000, Jake ends her 134, so it's quite powerful there. She just only needs a little bit more power charge before she gets her power, and decides to hit the resign button instead. This is Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's save this map for a little bit later. I don't really like this map. It's just too large and too much open area. So we can do this one here. Give me a moment to fix this. That should be adequate. Greens have won, and Grade here, another Advance Wars by Web replay. So on the bottom right side, as the Blue Moon Kindle, we got Doomsday 31415, which is the digits for pi. The only digits of pi I know off the top of my head is 3.141592. On the top left side, as the Silver Claw Andy, we have a foreign name. I don't know how to read, speak, or nor write foreign, so foreign name shall do. For Andy. Either way, this is a Fog of War map. It is a triple base map with an airport. This map is wide, and there is a decent amount of properties here, good for Kindle. And things well when it comes to global damage such as Urban Blight. Andy will not be super great against it because his repair ability, of course, will take secondary to the global or natural repairs you just always do. Got a recon pull out there, stealth point away from the black boat, so he's going to try to do a bit of a stealthy recon rush. I think there's a good possibility. It all depends about how well both players do positioning, because Kindle has that very powerful urban attacking from urban terrain type, which I feel more of as a retaliation tool. After all, say a tank is on top of a city, gets struck by another tank, pull back the tank, and put another tank on top of the city to retaliate for plus 40% damage. You know, has a wild tank there in vision range of the black boat. And we do have now double recon rush by Andy. Artillery piece and more infantry. Tank, infantry. Artillery in range Black Bolt, as well as the Pipe Scene, who has taken 1 round of machine guns. Infantry by Andy, so maybe gonna save me up something a little bit next turn, maybe a battle copter. This recon is right there, hidden, able to get some great vision going. Does spot the tanks, of course, knows the tanks here. At least knows about their initial deployment. Now he knows where the future tanks are going. I'll give you more as I open up my drink. Sorry, getting a little bit thirsty. Tank infantry. Right now I've been drinking a lot of fluids because it's been quite warm out recently. Takes out that recon there. Battlecopter infantry. So it looks like Kindle does part of the first battlecopter. Andy has not. 11,000 funds in the bank, so perhaps not again this turn. Recon infantry. Oh, drink some fluid. I drink quite a bit of fluids. Usually, each stream I drink a 2-liter of Diet Pepsi. Probably a little bit too much Diet Pepsi for one person to drink, but at least it's 0 calorie. Tank recon infantry. Yeah, right now, outside where I'm at, it's 85 degrees with like 60 to 70% humidity. So it's a nasty day. Though I definitely experienced worse. My first day on my deployment to Kuwait, it was 130 degrees. For those who use Celsius, I believe that's 55 Celsius. And it was also a little bit humid. I think it was like 40% humidity with a 15-mile-per-hour wind. So in short, it was an oven. It was a convection oven. Artillery, tank, infantry. So, got a decent amount of tanks for both sides. Andy right now has 4 tanks, 1 artillery, versus 5 tanks, 1 artillery, and a battlecopter. Takes out that tank there, nice little pick, though the retaliation damage was quite strong. Getting an extra point of damage. I'm from my unit was in Indiana. It was just a deployment at what's it called, at Abdullah Al Mubarak. Granted, that was about what, 2016. That's also where I started learning a couple years to modding and really got into it. Oh, Kindle does finish off that send-up tank. But right now, Andy has an artillery piece in range of this tank there, so he's going to receive a bit of a shelling. Infantry, tank, recon. Yeah, I'm no longer in the military right now. Left to get a more just future job. Right now, I'm a network engineer. In other words, I lay down cable. Artillery finished off with the tank there. Maybe I'm going to actually hit the other tank to get it wounded, because now Kindle can simply take this tank and go back to the city. We'll take a shelling, but we'll get pretty close to one-shotting that one. If she pops Urban Blight, it will pop one-shot it, but looks like the infantry gets on top of it. So probably best avoid the area. And looks like she won't be able to advance into the area with the wall there. pops Urban Blight after getting trapped. Let's see. Recon got hit, of course, some infantry across the line. That thing's got down to 1% health. Infantry got hit. Hit the battlecopter as well. Very nice. It'll be a bit of a blight on Andy's repairs, but nothing too devastating, I would say. Takes the recon there. Does not take out that one unit. It is out of range to artillery piece. Probably is a good idea. It's on top of it right there. And some of the artillery piece can't hit is the battlecopter, who now has plus in total with the column tower plus 100% firepower. Yep, that was easy one shot. Takes out the 1 health infantry unit there. That is not urbanized terrain. The platforms are not considered urbanized. Everything you read here is urban. Nothing more, nothing less. Get some good hit kills there. Neo-tank infantry. And 80 almost has a hyper upgrade. Probably charge 4, get some damage on his own units. Will definitely get his power charge going. As well as getting plus what, 10% firepower and plus 1 move range. A very nice combination of abilities, but I don't think this turn would be a great turn to pop it out. Goes for anti-air. Right now, Kindle has 99,800 on the field versus 69. Does get trapped there. Can pop a superpower, but I don't think it's worth it right now. The nice thing about his superpower, though, it does also boost his infantry movement speed, which is actually something a little less common. Yep. Not only on, but around cities because of her day-to-day passive, because that is actually a bit more lethal than Urban Blight. Except with Urban Blight, plus 100% firepower. I swear, Kindle, her Urban Blight is an excellent power. Her superpower, High Society, is actually good. Because if I were to take a look at this, she has 19 properties. Let's just round up to 20 for a nice easy mathematical number. That is plus 60% firepower. Along with getting a plus 130% from firing from urbanized terrain, you're getting to Colden levels, power of money, firepower. Granted, that's only on top of properties, but plus 6% firepower is greater than even most other CO's superpower. Because what, max is what, plus 50% in total? Yeah, plus 50% in total. Granted, that also does give him plus 2 movement range, but still. What was it beforehand? Did they change the mathematical formula a little bit? I honestly don't know the exact mathematical formula for Dual Strike. Good strike there. And he has a superpower available, but his units are just not wounded. And yeah, his units are just not wounded. He can heal up 1 tank to full health. And what's right now probably most useful for Andy is plus 1 movement range, and was it plus 10 or plus 20% firepower? Plus 10% firepower. Nice combination of abilities, but that's probably what he needs to use it for, just firepower bonus and mobility. Basically a weak max power. Pops the hyper upgrade, deals plus 1 tank to full health. All of his units are now full health. Get some decent damage there. Get some strikes on various infantry units there. And here, tank infantry. And it's turned with 84,000. Kindle starts turn 99, so Kindle is still in a commanding position. She does have a Neo-tank on the field as well. She's been doing a very good job just making sure his opponent's units are just simply not alive. Nice boost strike there, able to put it down to 2 health. So now they include all urban terrain to stay faithful to cartridge. So labs and column towers now count towards High Society, whereas they don't think they were before. Alright, that gives a little bit extra firepower. Granted, lab's not here, So in this case, Calm Power just provided one additional property. So we're talking, in this case, it'll be about 3% boost. Not really a massive buff there. Yeah, when it comes to, like I said before, and Kindle's power is excellent, her superpower is just good. Hence why it's probably better to spam up for a superpower, because sometimes you just only need plus 80% firepower from attacking Urban Terrain. Not to mention you already wound whatever's on top of it, allowing to able to occupy and push off of it. That's why probably one reason why Urban Blight is so much better. The ability to wound something and then take over and then push off from it. It's such a powerful combination. Good strikes there. Guess put an 8 here, maybe pushing a little bit too far forward. Kin only has the one battlecopter down here, or nope, she has 3 battlecopters. But this 8 here will probably get Neo tanked next turn. And there's still Kindle's Black Bolt down over here. Urban Blight could be summoned, allow the Neo tank even kill the anti-air even further. Yeah, I'm sort of curious about that. How much damage is that doing? Yep, 155% minimum. Yeah, on this map, it's not much, but with double laps and calm towers, with the high income, you literally one-shot enemy tanks on planes on some maps. Yep, it can get to Ludicrous. I cannot speak. She has high potential, sort of like Colin, but of course Colin just snowballs with power with Gold Rush. Tank, 8-tier tank, and serve 126,000. Andy starts turning over 75. He's still severely behind. I mentioned Kittle does have 2,000 income lead. Takes up the battlecopter there. Very nice. Recon not like a good strike there. Will spot everything nearby. Puts around the Black Bolt. And there could be a high society next turn. Does she need a high society next turn? I don't think so. I think an Urban Blight will be adequate. Because right now, down south, there's nothing really much to really utilize Urban High Society, or even really just Urban Blight. Up here, same thing as well. You got one Battlecopter and Neo Tank. I don't think she should pop her High Society this turn. I think she should pop her Urban Blight. If not, nothing this turn. There's actually an argument to say nothing this turn, but let's see what she does. She moves an infantry unit. An infantry unit. Huh, I did not take out the infantry unit there. The 3 off the infantry unit takes it out. I can flip some properties up north. Takes out the recon there. Artillery just creeping its way forward. We could see a mega boosted artillery piece next turn, since calm towers are classified as urbanized terrain, as we were talking about earlier. Will we see the plus 200% firepower artillery piece? Yeah. Takes the Black Bolt. You know, now think about it, there was an artillery piece that I took out the pipe scene. Sort of surprised it didn't take time to take out the Black Bolt during that time frame. Does spot the ATR or the artillery, and the artillery piece get knocked out, so we won't see the mega boosted artillery piece this game. Tank, infantry, and Andy hits the resign button. I was hoping to see a super powerful high society. Oh well, this is Angrade saying thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. Let's see now. Oh, next one involves all 3 of these ones. Oh. There we go, cleaned up that background. Give me a moment to just... I say that looks pretty good. Either way, yep, looks like everything's good. Greetings everyone, and Garrett here with another Advance Wars by Web replay. So on the bottom left side as the Cobalt Ice Kindle, we got Quick Slow 87. So on top right side as the Gray Sky Drake, we have X Old Man. This map is a triple base map with one airport. Pipe scene can be cleared out. Huh. This looks a little bit different. I don't know why. This just seems a little bit different. I think this map may have gone some changes. It seems like there's a little bit more shores here than or sea tiles here than our last time I remember. But maybe that's just my imagination. And this map seems just a little bit different. I can't place my finger on it. Either way, this map does offer 2 comm towers, 1 for each player effectively, as well as an airport there with 3 bases. So there'll be a lot of infantry in this game, maybe less so for battlecopters. Drake, of course, will probably be avoiding battlecopters in most situations. He does get minus 30% firepower on his battlecopters. He's just going to be, when it comes to his abilities, it's going to be solely carried by his Typhoon with the Tsunami. Kendall, of course, is the urban terrain specialist, offering plus recent firepower from attacking from urbanized terrain. This map is better for high society. Oh, let's find out. I just see a large amount of cities there for both players to capture. Kendall has opened up a double recon. Drake just about a double recon. So Kendall may get a bit of a recon rush. And Drake may get himself trapped on this recon there, and allow Kendall get the booster strike there. Does get trapped there as expected, and the recon is out of range, so very good position there by Kendall. And this recon may be able to one-shot the infantry unit. That's probably going to leave it down to about 2 health, if I remember correctly. Tank up here. Kendall has her own tank down south. We've got another Drake tank one field. Drake's ground field is completely and utterly ordinary. And does leave the infantry down to 1 health there. And the tank gets on top of the forest there, spotting 2 captured infantry units there. Now think about it, when it comes to previous comment, I don't know if Kendall, not like when it comes to like Kendall being buffed on top of having labs count as urbanized terrain. There's never really a case where you actually had labs in multiplayer, and there's only a couple lab maps in the campaign, so I don't think that's really necessary. Ooh, recon got trapped there on the tank. That is going to be a dead recon. Tank on infantry, no battlecopter. Could have gone for battlecopter 9,000 is probably not. Picks off the tank there entirely thanks to recon support. A forced recon, if you will. Though I don't think anybody will understand that Tom Clancy reference. ATR recon infantry. Drake does have to build out ATR. Kendall could gamble not to pull out ATR against Drake. Drake will definitely be using battlecopters sparingly. Tank anti-air recon. Battlecopter will strike the tank. What? Wait, what? Oh boy, he rolled really bad. He rolled bad luck, but still, I didn't realize it was going to do that little damage. What? Am I stupid not realizing that? I've never seen the battlecopter so weak before. Oh god. That minus 30% firepower really does not hurt. Yeah. I don't know why, that just seems very comedic. He did roll bad luck. It's more 50-50 chance of doing 3 damage rather than 2 damage, but still, something just comedic about that. I just don't know how to explain it. I didn't even believe that. Like, I could have sworn Drake Battlecopter would do a little bit more damage than that. Oh boy. Medium tank, infantry. Is it still cost effective? Yes. Is it barely? Yes. Tank falls back to the city there. Going to capture the property. It is minus 30%. I think they took more of a, was it Advanced Wars 1 where Drake had minus 30% firepower on aircraft, right? Because it seems like every Advanced Wars he's drastically different. Battlecopter, infantry, and recon. Drake does now have a medium tank field. I don't think his comm tower was captured at the time. No, he didn't. So he had also no comm tower support. That's probably one reason why I didn't realize it could do such little damage. Because now, since there is one comm tower, oh, it's guaranteed at least to a 3. It's guaranteed minimum. Did 4 damage because also it's not on top of the city, but still, just like something just didn't seem right about that damage. What? There's a Drake rocket now in the field. I don't know if that's a good idea. Plus 10% defense. To be fair, most games are not naval. I want to say that makes no difference. Because, let's be frank, nobody likes playing Navy. He's also not, there's an argument to say that he's also not the best naval CO, being the naval CO. I think Max and Grit can do Navy better than him, because usually Navy maps still have at least have access to aircraft, so Max battlecopters are excellent, and his direct fire subs are excellent, and Grit battleships are absurd. You can tell that Drake doesn't care about his copter. With that poor performance, I don't blame him. I don't know why. I'm just so kicked on the fact of how abysmal that damage was. In high funds, I think it's more important. Probably naval maps probably are more exclusive to high funds, because Navy units in this game are absurdly expensive. Which is one reason why I do believe Days of Ruin did Navy the best. Because in that game, Navy's actually fun. Like the battleship, not only cheaper, but also it is clearly king of the sea. Kindle does finish off that tank there, very nice. Could try merging the 4 health tank into some health tanks there to get a full health tank going. But it also has a 6 health tank there. Oh, decides to follow both of those back to properties, so she's going to try to get her tank core a little bit replenished before pushing forward. Do now have a medium tank pushing over here, and T-Copter as well. Another medium tank, and artillery to go along with it. Gotta be careful about the global damage course. Now it's strange as well. If Kindle would have popped an Urban Blight, it would have drained quite a bit of funds of Drake's because of the rocking up the city. But of course, that's with our caster vision. I'm thinking so as well. I rarely ever see rockets super useful. This map's also pretty wide open. But then again, none of these COs are mobility COs, so openness will be an issue, but not a massive issue. Kindle right now is 23,000 versus Drake's 22. Try and capture those properties. Well, there's a good amount of indirect fire and one fodder in front of the indirect fire, so it can do some good work. This is not necessarily a half-bad spot for the rocket, because this is a sea tile there, and there's a pair of shores. But the problem is, it's a rocket at the corner, at the side of the map, not providing massive coverage. So it's a good spot for the rocket, but also a bad spot for the rocket. The rocket is in range of infantry units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It can hit the capping squad. Tank, battlecopter, infantry. Interrupts that capture there. Does flip the property. Nukes the infantry unit in one hit. Interrupts the capture there. Possible tsunami this turn, but probably not likely. Drake stealth? With minus 30% firepower? I have no idea. This is probably a horrible idea. But of course, if Kindle pops or Urban Blight, it's going to drain his funds and leave it 9 health rather than 10 health, making it do even less effectiveness. I don't think a Drake stealth fighter is good. Infantry mech. I have no idea what the big is of this game. I'm sort of break. My mind's starting to do a bit of a mind break right now. Pops Urban Blight, not knowing that it's going to wreak havoc on Drake's economy. Let's see, also strike some infantry units there, as well as a mech. Hits this infantry unit there. Strike an infantry unit there and up here, as of course right there and there. So mostly infantry units, a mech, and the stealth and a recon. Does put the artillery piece there. I'm wondering right now, does Kindle believe that it was... Wait, no, anti-airs have 3 range, right? Vision range. So it probably does have vision of the rocket. Definitely has vision of the rocket now. Recon's within minimum range, but will be struck by the artillery piece. Rocket can strike the anti-air. T-copter, tank, double T-copter? Infantry. So, looks like Drake did spend quite a bit in repairs this turn. Has a number of 9 health units. Drops this capture. Stealth, camouflage right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Camouflage out of vision range of the recon. Let's make sure he wants the stealth to get more than 1 shot off, because the only thing he can engage right now is another stealth or a fighter. Would it be a good idea for Kindle to pull out a stealth? No, she's fighting against Drake, which would just drain his fuel instantaneously. She's going to have to get out a fighter to deal with it, or eat the hits from it, because it's also going to be a Drake stealth. It's not too particularly powerful. How powerful is a 9 health stealth, say, versus a tank on open ground? A little bit middling, honestly. Because stealths are expensive, and that's doing about 3,000 damage, it said. Let's say it does 5 damage, so it does 3,500 damage per strike. It's going to take forever for that stealth to pay for itself. Artillery, infantry. Pipe scene does go down, takes out that unit there. Machine guns the rocket there, get a bit of damage. takes out that tank there. Battlecopter strikes the medium tank there. Medium tank gets a first strike, and medium tank knocking it out. That's quite a bit of power swing there, but of course the tsunami or typhoon will even out everything. Quick Slow should have front shifted to his weak side as he has nothing to gain from on his strong side. Probably. Starting to move some units up north a little bit into the center. Could sort of try either to go with the comm tower. There are two. Of course, he just needs to capture up these two labs to win the game. As he just lost it. Anti-air will strike the battlecopter there. Does not immediately pop the typhoon. Probably should immediately pop the typhoon. There's the typhoon. Right now is at 118. Rocket gets on top of city, and that may be in vision range, so probably a good time for Urban Blight. Hopefully the cell does not end its turn on top of the city. Getting some great hits over here. Shooting through the tanks. Nothing really contesting the medium tank at the moment. Does not end the turn with the stealth on top of the city. And decides to go for medium tank. He sees Urban Blight and maybe going to not to go for medium tank, but goes for medium tank infantry. And turn of 135,000 field. Kindle starts turn 114. Urban Blight is possible. It's always hard to say when they'll immediately pop it or not. Getting some extra charge there. Ooh, the rain actually kicked in there. Not seeing this tank means didn't get the booster strike onto the tank. So the rain is actually reducing the vision, actually played a role right there. And now spots the tank there. Could have got a pretty good booster strike there and pop Urban Blight. Could have got a almost one-shot the tank there. Yes. Probably would not expect the stealth. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. Problem is, well, the stealth has so far has been alive for how many turns and has not gotten a single strike so far this game. Don't tell me the stealth's going to run into this infantry unit. Please don't tell me the stealth's going to go straight into that infantry unit and gets trapped. Good strike there. Do now have a high society available. Assuming there's nothing changing when it comes to properties. She will have approximately, let's just run up to 30. She will have plus 90% firepower. That is actually absurd. Plus a 10% attack and defense passive. She will have plus 100% firepower on all units, regardless if they're on urbanized terrain or not. On urbanized terrain, she'll get an additional 130%. So a unit attacking from, say, a city will do plus 200 with the comm tower, plus 280% additional firepower. Kindle can get some really absurd firepower bonuses. Recon, APC, anti-air, and yeah, Recon, APC, anti-air. What am I thinking? Another turn where the stealth is still stealth. The APC is meant to resupply the stealth because it's already almost down half its fuel. It's done nothing so far. She may see Peeper power charge this turn, and I for pops Urban Blight. That's probably a good call. I don't think this is a good turn for High Society. None of the targets in range, so just pop it and inflicts a bit of blight upon the land. And do a bit of extra damage there. And possible, maybe punch this tank there, then get this tank to do a boost strike onto this tank. Look at that. This is 110%. Not even close. I disagree with that. Unless she's going to start capturing this property this turn. I think she should have ticked that out and then get the tank to do a boost strike there. Finish off the infantry unit, so Just something I would say a little bit better, but shouldn't be a massive issue. Still may get first strike on the medium tank this turn. Recon, Battlecopter, Tank, Infantry. Kindle ends turn for 137 on the field. Drake starts for 112, almost enough for power. APC out of range. Here's how much damage this will do. 40 to 46%, not too bad. So this may be the first strike here. And now she's realized, wait, there is a Drake Stealth Fighter in the field. And funny thing as well, she could probably, Kindle could probably estimate when that Stealth Fighter is on the field because 9 health. Definitely too far away to go this distance, so like, wait, he pulled a Stealth Fighter how many turns ago? Drake Ball is so immobile. Yeah, got a lot of artillery, got a mech, a couple mechs here. Stealths, medium tank. Yeah, his force is probably a little bit too slow. Now you mention it. Good eye. Kindle has a lot of tanks, has a Neo tank, and at least a couple medium tanks, but they are at least a bit more mobile than mechs, rockets, and artillery. Kindle, if it has a possibility, go up north, try to capture some properties. This tank spots a whole lot of nothing. Does get some merges there. And does pull off a fighter there. Which may be a little bit overkill. Deal with Drake Stealth. I understand we want to take out just Drake Stealth because it'd be continuously annoying. Gets spotted there. Rocket does strike the infantry in there. Try to flip the property. And right now she does have 4,000 income lead, so that's quite nice. Got resupplied with 7 fuel remaining. Neo tank, infantry. Oops. Neo tank heading towards over here. Gotta just be careful of the stealth. I wonder if Kindle realized that she's been getting hit by a rocket, not by an artillery piece, because I don't think. Oh, I suppose this artillery piece has gotten a couple shots in. Fighter pushes its way forward. Anti-air, battlecopter infantry. Probably way too many battlecopters. Kindle has a fighting field. Probably does not have to worry about too many battlecopters. Yeah, I think the battle anti-airs are actually a bad idea because she's fighting a Drake. So yeah, I disagree with the anti-airs. Tank does get picked off there. Strikes the Neo tank, doing 3 damage. And the medium tank gets a good strike there, doing some great damage. However, we do have Urban Blight and potentially High Society next turn. The fighter can take out the Stealth Fighter, which may give her enough charge for High Society. I think it'll be a little bit short, but still. And then a Battlecopter with a High Society to gauge the medium tank could one-shot it. It's really on top of the con tower. Let's see how well this goes. I want to see the fighter strike the stealth. It should one-shot it right now. Should. Yep, it'll be easy one-shot. Oh, Urban Blight, no, should not have popped Urban Blight. Should have took this shot first. It was guaranteed to kill. She missed out a bit of power charge there. There's great shots there. And some outlying units. It's going to be now a Typhoon. Medium tank, maybe we'll finish off the Neo tank. Should maybe we'll finish off the Neo tank, or Neo tank should be able to finish off the medium tank. Yep, it will finish off. Did not even need to do that unless the... Does go flash shot there. Takes some range for the rocket. Has vision of it. Meteors push forward. Infantry, battlecopter, tank. Not going... There's tsunami. Artillery gets that strike there. Rocket finish off the tank right there. Does. So the rocket has got a number of kills. I think it has paid for itself now. Kindle or Drake's Neo tank push way forward. Gotta make sure it is not adjacent to any urbanized property. But Kindle's artillery here is in a great position to get booster strikes. Should be able to nuke that into your no problem. Takes the anti-air no problem. It's the battlecopter. Now the fighter has no more targets. The fighter could simply just withdraw all the way to the airport, get resupplied. There's always going to be a turn where you don't have an airport active, so might as well put the fighter there. Get resupplied and push forward and wait for the next battlecopter that may not show up. Though, letting Drake take it out right now would give her a decent amount of power charge. So it may be a good idea for Drake not to attack the fighter. If he's not planning to pull out any more aircraft, let the fighter be. It would be a bit of an annoying blocker, but it would not taking out would result in not as much power charge. So I think that's the play to go. Go for the battlecopters, of course. Do not worry about the fighter. Finish off some of these outlying units there. Now this Neo tank is next to an urbanized property. That's not a great idea. Though with our cast vision, we see there's nothing really there to threaten it. Neo tank will be at 3 health next turn. If Kindle wants to take a swipe at the Neo tank with a boosted strike, all needs to pop Urban Blight and then use the battlecopter and get a nice boost strike onto it, but that's the best case scenario I can see. This artillery could fall back, and then the medium tank gets right there and do a boost strike. This one will be out of range. Tank falls back down south. You hear a Neo tank shifting around. Infantry, recon, infantry. Hold on, nothing. She must have spent a lot of funds repairing stuff up. More so than I realized. Insert for 150,000. Drake starts for 136. Neo tank strikes the medium tank. Very nice. But once again, it's next to urbanized property. Recon tank. She has 28,000 income. She's at what, 32 properties? 31 properties. Pops Urban Blight, which will strike some infantry. Will strike the infantry here and tank. Strikes this infantry there, but looks like that's about it, other than some various infantry units. Gonna strike there. Battlecopter should probably strike the Neo tank or boosted strike from the city. Oh, those medium tank was in range. I didn't see that. That may one-shot the Neo tank. It does. Let's see how close that was. Oops. It kept on hitting the wrong buttons. 90, so it was a guaranteed kill. Though if it was a full health, it would not. Fighter does fall back to the airport. Goes for recon, tank, and infantry. Recon or anti-air gets struck by the Neo tank. Medium tank infantry. Kindle's next Urban Blight is actually pretty close, so the rocket could be hit by Urban Blight, and that is not a property can be repaired on. Picks off some outlying units there, trying to flip another property. She's now just has a good position in the game just due to higher income. Get some good strikes there and there. Picks up the anti-air. 1, 2 anti-airs left in the field, both at 9 health. Urban Blight caused a bit of blight upon them. Has Kindle actually seen this rocket yet, this turret game? I don't think she ever seen the rocket itself. Goes for recon tank, or recon infantry battlecopter. Anti-air takes up the battlecopter, no problem. Max strikes the tank there. Probably could have got that first, but I think she wanted to take the damage there for this tsunami. Decides to take out that 8 health tank there, so there we go. Strike some units there. Tank will strike the tank. Another Neo tank, infantry. And probably another infantry there. Has enough money. Yep. Ends her of 147,000. Kindle starts turn 119, so Kindle's falling fall behind. Not to mention she's down 10,000 income this turn due to the mass amount of repairs. Pops an Urban Blight, which will do a bit of economic damage to his opponent. And this time hits both the rocket and the Neo tank. So that's quite a bit of damage there. And the artillery piece there will get a boost strike onto the Neo tank. Granted, it's at half health, but that's pretty good. Maybe wounded enough for the medium tank to not take it out this turn. But take a safe engagement there. And this medium tank is out of range of both these artillery pieces. This infantry, however, is not. Tank, infantry. In serve 125,000, Drake starts turn 124, so it's back down to turn difference, and Drake has spent a lot on repairs this turn. Recon, tank. Kindle's turn, 13,000 income, income of 20,000. So yeah, the repair has been quite massive for her, but she's starting to pull ahead. Yeah, her high society does look pretty juicy right now, but she's pretty far on power charge. If she wants to really get a good high society, she needs to get a line of tanks, able to get that really boosted damage to allow them to punch through even more hardened units. Infantry, tank, recon. Drake's turn, 20,000 income, and has 15,000 in the bank right now at the start of turn, so quite a bit of repairs going on. Ooh, and looks like that rocket gets a good strike on that medium tank and gets knocked out by that Neo tank. Drake's artillery will get... Nope, the battle pump gets struck there. There it goes, gets struck there. Another Urban Blight's available, which can get boost strike from the city here. However, there's nothing much in the region to get that boost strike. We have a Neo Tank here, and another city here to project off of. Anti-air infantry. Will we see Urban Blight this turn? I'll just go for safe engagements right now. Tank gets a good strike down the artillery piece. There's a 1 health infantry unit there. Finish off the artillery piece. And now spot the rocket. And the rocket goes down. Fighter falls back to the airport, which caused a bit of fun straining. But with that fighter in the field, he does not... Well, Kindle does not need any anti-air on the field. We've got a 9 health tank in the rear, which will get a first strike onto the 8 health tank. If she does go for a high siding, she probably needs to start focusing on mass tank production. Just get a bunch of mobile units to really use it. Infantry, Neo Tank infantry. So I have a feeling Drake's tank is going to do some... Neo Tank will do some good work here. Yep, gets a good strike there. Infantry falls back. His medium tank is in range. Probably should take out the medium tank. And that's a high society. Drake right now has 92,000 in the field. Kindle says 110 at the moment. It looks like there's going to be no Typhoon this turn. 116 versus 104. So slight advantage. Of course, still has 24,000 bank. What is she going to go for this turn? Problem is, 116,000 in the field. I don't really see 116,000 in the field. It feels like that's incorrect. It feels a little bit high. I think the fighter consuming is inflating this because, was this 20,000? So it's basically 95 versus 100. So that may be one reason why everything just feels a little bit off. The fighter's inflating the actual arm of the field, and the fighter's just not going to be super useful. Drake did pull out Battle Copter there. And there's probably going to be a Typhoon this turn. Goes with another Neo Tank. Tsunami cannot be brought on in. But not going for it. Mega Tank by Drake. He's hoping that Kindle doesn't pop Urban Blight. But I have a good feeling she's going to pop Urban Blight this turn. He has pulled back a little bit there. Kindle is spreading out as well, so we'll see both players being defensive. No Typhoon either. Bomber. Right now I'm going to fast forward a little bit there because it looks like both players just being not ever aggressive. Mega Tank is currently on top of a... Okay, that's a broken pipe scene. Nice little pick there. Interrupts the capture. Neo Tank's trying to just creep forward on top of cities to minimize the attrition. The bomber's just going to get hit by the rain no matter what, so I'm not going to be too concerned about it. Just have to be careful about anti-airs. No superpower looks like this turn. Recon tank. Units move around. Recon's trying to recon. Neo Tank still city jumping. Battlecopter anti-air infantry. Yep, game definitely slowed down a little bit there. Both people posturing with their superpowers, which are usually not superpowers you want to save up. Kindle's going to try to threaten some properties. Battlecopter APC, very understandable against Drake. One thing Drake can do is Rain does reduce vision, which could cause some issues with Kindle for a counterattack. Kindle can start capturing this lab. Stealth by Kindle. Not when there's a Drake's mom. It does have APC. I think both sides come to posturing once again this turn. That's why I'm sort of fast forwarding, because right now there's been a whole lot of nothing. Kindle is starting to threaten multiple properties and can interrupt some tanks over here. Force camouflage. Have the APC next to the stealth. Mega tank now by Kindle. She does have the economy to support the high-tech units. As much as painful as the tsunami is going to be, she has almost 300,000. Right, has 118 right now. Neo tank there. Yep, and I'm just wondering how this game is going to end. It feels like Kindle is in ever-increasing good position, because every property she gets, it's going to be massive. And now she has captured a lab. This is the last Drake lab, so this is now a victory condition that Kindle could start eyeing. Rotating around. Another stealth? I don't think I've ever seen two stealths on the field at one point in time from the same player. That's what happens when you get the solo maps. What's the unit limit on this map? Again, 60. Oh yeah, and what's the capture limit? 34. $32. She just needs to capture 2 properties and she outright wins. Drake is forfeiting too much land. Of course, his superpower is going to be incredibly powerful. Guaranteed to at least call 100, let's see, at least 60,000 damage, which will be even out. That's threatening the game. Drake has to interrupt this. Yeah, that was the other stealthing. Has an APC there. Also going for the comm tower as well, so she's right now threatening 3 properties. Drake has to interrupt. This is probably the turn that he's going to pop with superpower, and all hell is going to break loose. If hell involves rain, it will. So it's probably acid rain. So he gets a strike there. Recon interrupts that capture, but there's 2 other. Goes for Battlecopter. Okay, he has interrupted the capture. Has a turn for breathing. Not sure. Maybe he wants his attack to be supported by the rain, so his Kindle will be a bit more blind. But when 2 front lines smash into each other, there's going to be plenty of vision. Kindle makes the first move. And this is actually good for Kindle to get the first move in, because that means she's going to be at full power. Full superpower. Let's see now. 32 properties. She's going to have 96% additional firepower this turn on all units, plus 130% firepower from attacking from urbanized terrain, plus 10% for activating power and or superpower, and not to mention top off additional 10% from calm power. She can get at least 250% additional firepower from attacking from a city. That's capturing a city. That is not changed. Recon to recon. Tank onto tank. One shot. Let's just take it slow with these numbers. That was a guaranteed easy one shot. Oh boy. Easy one shot. Not an easy one shot because of the 3 defense stars. That's a one shot. That's a one shot. The penguins are marching on in. Apparently, at this point in time, a recon could take out a 9 health 4 defense star infantry. Oops, that was the wrong unit. Since that 9 health, it was a easy one shot. Tank onto A-tier. Infantry onto infantry. Infantry onto infantry. Tank onto recon. Stealth onto recon. Just bask in these numbers. 100. Oh, yeah, there we go. 183%. Join capture. Neo tank strikes regular tank or medium tank. Mega tank does not appear to be scouted, but of course there's always some vision bugs. Definitely scouted now. Neo tank nukes the A-tier, trying to capture the column tower. Tank strikes infantry. Tank strikes infantry. Recon strikes artillery. Sorry, I just want to take a look at these numbers. Numbers big. That was actually it was at 4 health. It was a 50-50% luck roll of a one shot. Tank on tank. Stealth. A-tier. Bomber. Resupply. Mega tank. Another stealth. Yep, that would have been easily called, but to be fair, her firepower in like those 180% damage strikes would still be one shots. Oh, here comes Typhoon. He got called down to 211,000 versus 359. Come on, superpower. Mega Tank does. With that retaliation damage, why is he not pop? There it goes. Why did he wait? Because probably the vision stuff? Because of the rain? But then again, he's not affected by rain, right? Unaffected by rain. There are going to be some significant, if it doesn't one-shot something, if the retaliation damage is going to be severe. So, he has to be very careful. Because these penguins are murder machines this turn. Good strike there. Almost well, still a massive income disparity. And Drake has put out his own fighter, which should be quite usable against most of his opponent's aircraft as well, and not to mention all the stealths. There are 3 stealths in the field. I don't think he's realized there's 3 stealths in the field because he only seen them 1. Look at the call. Look, he just called about 100,000 value from Kindle thanks to this, mostly to the superpower. But has 136 to 122, so the fight appears to be pretty even. But I'm still more leaning towards Kindle because she has all the high-tech units still quite alive. So that unit there. There's a 1 health infantry unit there. Bomber strikes the Anti-Air. Taking out the Anti-Air will allow his Kindle's aircraft and reign supreme. Stealth strikes there. The fighter could take out one of these stealths. Megatank is on top of the city there. Stealths the stealth. Resupplies both these stealths there. There are 4 stealths on the field for Kindle. That's obscene. Infantry. Recon does get hit by the anti-air, trying to join capture there. And not to mention, going back to the capture game, Kindle has 30,000 in the field. Wait, it says capture limit 34, right? Must be only cities only, because this suggests to me that she should have won this turn, but maybe it's just meant for cities, so I may be misreading that. But right now she has 30,000 income, Drake has 18. So if she captures any more cities, it probably is a game over. Maybe there's some things that are just not being properly calculated for that sort of thing, where labs just excluded from it. Not sure. Kindle's Neotank does get hit there, and the stealth there as well. Could just merge into the stealth. The Megatank strikes the Neotank there. A lot of damage there. Mace into the high society next turn. Does even try to machine gun on Neotank. Anti-air strikes the fighter, which only did 1 point damage, so it is a 2 health anti-air. And if that fighter's able to range that fire, that could be quite good. Taking out the tank and anti there shouldn't be too big of an issue. I heard another Prophet get captured. Megatank strikes out that regular tank. Pops a regular Urban Blight, not a high society. And this is going to be a... Well, I thought it would have done a bit more damage. It merged there. Bomber strikes anti-air. Stealth strikes tank there. Fighter finish off fighter. We may see another Typhoon relatively soon. APC. Medium tank infantry. And start of 200,000. Drake's at 158. Tank does go down there. So she's captured both comm towers now. So she has plus 1% firepower, while Drake has plus 0. And now his fighter is even weaker. He does go for another fighter. Pulls back there. I am so surprised why there's not been a capture victory. But it must be only meant for cities. It looks like this number is different than the capture limit number. So in theory, the comm towers and labs should be removed in that. So she has 3 labs, 2 comm towers, and -5. So in theory, then she's actually at 30 cities or properties. So she needs to capture 4 more for the capture victory. If I'm reading that right. Or maybe the comm towers do count while labs don't. So maybe just 2 more properties should win? I'm not sure. Ray strike there, down. Now have another Typhoon available. Battlecopter tank, infantry tank. And here comes Tsunami. Here comes the Tsunami. Whittling everything down once again. Yeah, and the Neotank gets trapped on a stealth. Ooh. That's really bad luck. Fighter does take out the stealth there. Got some outlying infantry units there. Got a battlecopter here. There's also some of these outlying units. Artillery infantry at 140,000 versus 158. So Drake is able to use the superpower to even out the game. It's expected to become an anti-snowball mechanic. the larger force of Kindle deploys in the field, the more she gets wounded by the rain. It does have Neo Tank of one-shot the Mega Tank, because Mega Tanks are absurd when it comes to firepower. Infantry, anti-air, recon. Battlecopter strike, battlecopter. Neo Tank does fall back a little bit there. Resupplies both of the stealths. Drake's turn. Maybe able to take out one of those stealths this turn. Does spot that one stealth there, so it's pretty wounded. Another High Society could be brought in the next turn. High Society could be brought in the next turn. Another fighter, infantry, infantry, infantry. What's it going to do? High Society or Urban Blight? Urban Blight, which will greatly damage that fighter there. And also those Mega Tanks next to the city there, so could get Booster Strike from there. Just need to clear out these units, maybe get a stealth to hit it. Mega Tank down to 1 ammo, but she does have some APCs in the field. That's good damage there. 2 stealth takes out the fighter there. This stealth does not go for the Mega Tank. Wants to keep the comm tower secured. Picks off the infantry unit there. Beam Tank will be at full health and full fuel next turn. Fighter, tank, infantry, infantry. Don't know if the fighter's a good call. Has a couple stealths in the field, but just trying to deploy out to get rid of that other fighter. Tank gets knocked out. The problem as well, the Mega Tank's next to the comm tower, which means a 100% boost strike. But now this stealth does get spotted. Effectively gets knocked out. Mega Tank could get a boost strike on this Mega Tank, easily killing it off. Does throw a recon into the Mega Tank to drain its last ammo, but the APC is in range, so a fuel attempt there. Anti-air tank infantry. Strikes this unit down there. Yep, 43 days. Resupplies the Mega Tank. Mega Tank will take out the Mega Tank. Urban Blight gets popped, wounding, putting a bit more damage on everything. Also slow down the capture game. One property did get flipped. Gets a nice booster strike there on the Neo Tank. Takes up the infantry unit there. Stealth puts a round into the Neo Tank. Fighter advance way forward. And completely surrounds the fighter there. Thing as well, if the stealths are effectively dead, it's probably a good idea. I suppose now with possibly taking out one of the fighters, she is probably safe enough to go for another stealth, but maybe just best to go for bombers. That's a good round there in the battlecopter. Now Kindle knows there's 2 stealth fighters in the field, or regular fighters. Tank, infantry, infantry. Look at that unit there. Mega Tank falls back to the city, get full health. Takes out the fighter, possible tsunami or typhoon next turn. Right now, Drake's at 81,000 versus 150,000. Booster strike there, easy kill. Tsunami's now available. Now these stealths are going to be down to 1 health each, or 1% health each. Boy, those things took a lot more beating than I expected this entire game. Infantry, recon, battlecopter, recon. Stealth strikes the, oh, man, I think that's a high luck roll. It depends what percentage health. Looks like it... Can't say how much what percentage of health it is. Few supplies there. Stealth push way forward. Forcing opponents, stealths are good for forcing opponents who have a lot less income to resign. I see, because you have to invest in expensive fighters, which is something Drake does not want to do in a situation, and he has also only 20,000 fund income right now, so it would be entire turn income to play a fighter. But these stealths are going to be soon to be at 1% health. He is not eyeing their surrender, is he? Infantry. I think Kindle needs to get a capture victory, and these two properties over here got flipped. Go and try to flip that one. Trying to flip that one. Something just got captured there. This one here. Yep, just go for the capture victory. Looks like this player is one of the players who don't surrender types, which part of me understands, but part of me wish it can get old pretty quickly. Battlecopter, Neo Tank, and Typhoon. Typhoon's been summoned. Artillery gets a good strike on the medium tank. Selves are now at 1% health. If possible, try base lock something. In fact, if a stealth gets on top of an airport, there's nothing he can do. Though then again, he is Drake, he can deal with camouflage stealths by just draining the fuel. And he has now hit the resign button. This is Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. I'm going to try to see if I can't do one more replay tonight, but first I need to use a restroom. My apologies, I'm back. I'm going to try to find the replay I have saved up with the highest turn count and cast it. It will be this one here. Oh, another Drake. Okay, versus Sandy. Good counterparts. Definitely gonna be my last replay tonight. My voice can only handle so much. That seems reasonable. Greetings everyone, and Angrade here with another Advanced Wars by Web replay. Both on the south side as the Gray Sky Andy, we've got X-Old Man, all capitalized. On top right side as the Purple Lightning Drake, we got Alaska Lennar. Either way, this is a 3 base map, 1 airport, 2 airport, and also a seaport map. The seaport's pretty much just meant for lander play to resupply the lander and for Black Boat. Speaking about Black Boat, there's also a opposing Black Boat on top of your opponent's secondary airport, which also is a landlocked route because we got mountains here, so can't really advance to the left or right until it gets removed. Speaking of which, we got our artillery piece deployed by Andy. Excuse me. And both players now deployed out an artillery piece to displace the Black Boat. And it looks like pushing down south, there's a decent amount of shores here. Those areas still traversed by the Black Boat. And since boat players do start off a lander immediately, allows them to easily push units forward. There's also a lander that you have on top of your HQ, but boat players moved it off for a bit of boosting. But still be a good way to block stuff around. Does strike the Black Boat there. I'm pretty sure the Black Boat does get affected by 3 defense stars. Wait. Artillery here. Black Boat there. Put that 10. And see, 33 to 38. Let's just say planes. So yep, it does get affected by the defense stars of the airport. Looks like Andy has figured out what an airport is, has captured this one in, and we'll be trying to capture up this one as well. So looks like double artillery piece up here by Drake, while Andy has gone for a tank. Black Boat will be needed to pick that up, or just travel this way. Reconnaissing. The tank will go the long way around, and with the lander pushed more farther north to push the infantry up to the corner of the map. And now the recon in the corner does get destroyed. If you capture up the or on top of the comm tower now, there are 2 contours of the map, 1 in each corner, 1 for each player, so nothing too significant. Strikes the infantry unit there, no problem. And it looks like the infantry does manage to live, but probably won't be able to interrupt the capture any further when you get 3 points of damage. But will at least provide spotting for the tank to stop the capture entirely. Recon does get spotted there, and of course does spot everything here. But probably should just run away. Recon and infantry unit gets inside the lander. You can boost these units forward like that. Tank strikes the recon. Infantry does get interrupted even further. And recon boost struck there. Got the mech. Actually, a number of mechs being flooded by Drake. The advance captured by Andy. Sorry, I wasn't really paying attention by that exactly what you're referring to. I'm talking about the corner. May have missed something. Or you're referring to this city there. Battlecopter, tank, infantry. And right now Andy does have 22,000 income. Drake has 20, so that maybe that's what you're referring to. I have not been paying attention really in depth to capture and order. More just focus on some other units. Does interrupt the capture and stops the capture, but will be in range of artillery. And of course of the artillery, hyper repair is available, which could be useful. We'll heal up 3 units. And heal up this artillery piece there to get a bit more firepower out of it. Wouldn't be half bad, but probably... Wait, no. I'm looking at the wrong player. 80's turns right now, that's Drake's stuff. Never mind. Well, whatever beating Andy takes this turn could be repaired up by the repair. Yeah, the one near the HQ, he's never holding that. Yeah, this one. Oh, he is somewhat holding it right now. We do have a tsunami available, which is probably a good idea not to go for it. Andy may just need to keep his power ready just to counter out the power and or superpower from Drake. Infantry, tank. Recon finally goes down the corner for Drake. Battlecopter gets a good strike there, gets a good hit there. And a lot of good hits there. Andy almost has his hyper upgrade available. If Drake pops his superpower, he pops his power or superpower. And I think as well, Andy could just pop a superpower or his regular power instead. If he does not does not need the +1 move range, or does he not need the additional 10% firepower, pop the regular power in order to stop Drake's superpower or counteract it. Hello. Drake pops his power. There is argument to be made against Andy to pop power in the superpower because he's going to heal up either way, but this course will retain some power charge and allow him to use it more often and also drain fuel, so this may be more of an anti-fuel tactic. Possibly Andy overextended, but let's see how this turn goes. So yeah, now this puts in any position. Maybe he just pops his power, just get repair the 1% damage. If he needs +1 movement range, then I can understand why he needs one to pop his superpower. And now got a Neotech followed by Drake. And Andy has 33,000 in field. I wonder. Stealths are banned on this map. It's not common to see stealths not banned on Fog War maps, but they are on this map. And the unit limit's 50 if you're curious. Oops. Takes a bit of damage there. He can inflict some damage on his own units, so they get repaired on up though. That just nuked his own squad there. And pops the full superpower, which means the second tsunami could come in before the tower. Hard to say exactly. Let's see how well it goes. Battlecocks get some good strikes there. Recon gets a good strike on artillery piece. And in goes for his own Neo tank. Battlecopter, infantry, Neo tank. So both players have spawned out a Neo tank last turn. Good strikes there. Recon's going down, but taking out Recon's a little bit lower priority. Try and flip a property there. Andy right now has 27,000 versus 23,000, so he can start pumping out Neo tanks and/or bombers. I'm always biased towards bombers, but I understand why Neo tanks can sometimes be better because anti-airs are pretty good to counter through bombers, while Neo tanks are a little bit harder to counter. Yep. Not only has it, he has it pretty well secure. It has some a full health infantry unit on top of it. Battlecopter strikes the tank there rather than striking this other 7 health battlecopter. 4 health infantry unit could be, yep, hit there. Battlecopter strikes it. Maybe I'll take that tank out there. Does finish off the 4 health battlecopter, didn't realize. Left with 2 health. Takes out the artillery piece there. And he's actually... Not only is he keeping that city secure, look at it right now. It's even more secure. It's actually very safe. It's not under any genuine threat. Of course, there's still this Neo tank push right forward that helps change the math a little bit, but there's not a whole lot else here. And maybe we're ready to pop the tsunami this turn. He's a little bit far away from hyper repair. There's an argument made for a tsunami this turn to help drain down the field. And he pops a tsunami this turn. Got some good kills there. There's still a 9 health battlecopter, but that's the only real threat in this region. Probably gonna have to merge the 9 health battlecopter with the 1 health battlecopter. Though keeping it alive as Andy is very important, or the 2 health battlecopter, because it can be up to a 7 health battlecopter. Probably needs to get on APC this turn. True, it's probably a good idea not to spam out battlecopters as Drake. But also, Drake has spammed out a number of anti-airs, so we've got 2 anti-airs and a tank here. And overall, Andy does have 2 battle cops over here, and sitting and has a T-Cop to help secure this region. Very nice. Andy's feels pretty comfortable here. The mechs have no real valid targets to fight against other than a single anti-air. Another tank there. Take this unit. Hyper repair could be popped, and maybe a good idea to pop it. He looking at a bunch of 9 health infantry? Maybe not. He does need a APC, because this 2 health battle copters at 11 fuel. And keeping that alive, it could be up to 7 health battle copter. He is not the a APC this turn. He went for a tank battle copter infantry tank. Oh, that's a dead battle copter. And a dead recon. Right now, Andy or Drake ends turn for 132,000. Andy starts turn 137, so he's about 1 turn ahead in income. It's 26,000 versus 24,000. It doesn't feel like it feels like Drake's pretty far behind. I don't know why. This seems high. Granted, Neotank is quite expensive. He has a good number of small core of units. I don't know why. It just feels like Andy has a bit more presence in the field. A little bit more presence told up there. Hyper repair was utilized there to get a nice 2 health across the board. Though it's also not just, needs no fuel. And a lot of stuff is quite thirsty. In this case, the infantry back here is quite hungry. Give them burger and they'd be just fine. They need a higher caloric intake. After all, soldiers in combat, in active combat, needs to have around a 5,000 calorie per day diet. No, seriously. The term like, oh, people being athletic needs 3,000 calories per day, that's actually undercutting it a lot of times. People who are actually doing strenuous work for long periods of time, there's military training, actually need closer to 5,000 calories per day. Does take out the battle copter there. There's a point where actually, yes, Big Macs can be healthy if you need that many calories. ATR does give open the lander there. The battlecopter is actually pulled back out of the region, of course, with our caster vision. Battlecopter, anti-air infantry. Going for a heavy amount of anti-airs. How many does he have in the field for at the moment versus 5 battlecopters, so probably a good idea. Yeah, but there's also one reason why, if you ever pay attention to my Age of Empire games I cast, I always say berries are actually, in real life, are actually a horrible source of nutrition. For example, a pound of strawberries gives you about, like, 150 calories, something small. When it comes to the old term adage of hunter-gatherers, more emphasis on the hunting rather than the gathering. Berries never provide humans with proper nutrition. As I mentioned, modern crops are very, very high nutrition compared to actual wild berries, crops, and other things that sort. It's also another reason why humanity did not settle down for farming, for growing food. That's actually a bit of a myth. Humanity settled down to grow fall crops or alcohol. Because of course we did. There's a lot of funny misconceptions as well. For example, medieval knight armor is actually pretty lightweight. Medieval knight armor, it weighs about 50 pounds or around 40 kilograms. A modern combat load the United States use in, say, Afghanistan is close to 70 pounds. Modern soldiers carry more weight than full-plate knight armor. Good damage there. It's also concentrated around the chest, so it's also very unbalanced. Well, Knight Armor is pretty easy to wear. Good damage there. Tank does strike the here, and the Battlecopter gets good hit. Excuse me, good hit there. Making so Drake is having trouble holding on this area even further. After he not only has an infantry and mech to deal with all these assets, is unlikely. Mech could probably take out the tank or get a good strike on the anti-air. But this Battlecopter is going to reign supreme. Oh, also, going back to the berry concept, why hunting gathering never was actually really viable. Sun Tzu. Sun Tzu's teaching was meant to try to teach illiterate people the ways of war. And so the common knowledge is like, oh, don't try to have your army foray off the land, you'll never get enough foray. Sun Tzu said that, and he knows a little bit more about it than you do, pal, because he invented it. Sorry, Team Fortress 2. Ooh, superpower popped. Always feels bad to reveal a mech in range of a tank while attacking. Yeah. Something I always like to say, a mech counters everything, but get countered by everything. We'll put some good holes in there onto that Neotank has to finish off, does finish off, because that was going to be repaired up quite a bit. It does manage to finish it off there, but we're probably going to see at least a hyper repair next turn, maybe a hyper upgrade. We got a nice swarm of Battlecopters ready to charge forward. There are 2 anti-airs that have to take out, but she does have a tank nearby to take out one. It's maybe time for a hyper upgrade. Of course, reduced vision range is going to cause some issues. Yep. And Sun's got to feed your troops. You can't do it off the land. Rarely ever that's ever useful. That's only good for small, lightweight forces, and that's usually involving a lot of pillaging as well. Hence why Scorched Earth is also good, effective versus the light units that try to pillage you off the land, because Scorched Earth denies that land. Yeah, looks like this area is going quite handily in favor of Andy, trying to capture up the territories now, since the air is pretty secure. Though a lot of his units back here is a little bit too defensive, but of course with the rain and fog of war with reduced vision, I understand why he's not being super aggressive. This is where our cast vision. We can see this, you cannot. Post-rain hyper upgrade is always satisfying. Yeah, seeing all that repair going up. But right now the values are quite similar, so it still goes either direction. Right now, Drake does have more forces up here, because Andy has a little bit too much down here. Got a medium tank here, that could be useful. This area is pretty good to put, this forest tower seems like a good spot for a medium tank, ready to try to ambush the Neo tank. With reduced move speed, its best way to help fight the Neo tanks is with an ambush. Takes out the infantry unit there, and there's and Drake is being very aggressive down here. Oh great, we got another Drake's Battlecopters can't do much. Can hardly even do damage onto a tank onto a forest. Anti-air artillery APC? Huh. I suppose the T-Copter does need an APC. But at that point in time, is it better just go for a new T-Copter? Or actually take the time to refuel it? I suppose having the APC push over here and refuel other things is not a bad idea. But there's an argument made, an APC and a T-Copter cost the same amount. Maybe just replace it with a new T-Copter. Oh, sorry, I didn't see that one comment there. So you're saying we should go back to Knight Armor Nope, because Knight Armor is good against, won't protect you against, bullets. There's this conception that Knight Armor was slow and weighs you down, when in actuality, since its weight really spread out across the entire body, you hardly even feel it. You do feel it, but it's not too bad. Because I know running with a ballistic vest on your chest, actually, since all that weight is on your chest, actually constricts your ability to have your lungs breathe air in and out. Trust me, since I am myself a prior military, it does actually restrict your ability just to breathe with the actual active weight on your chest. While Knight Armor, if properly fitted, of course, not so much. Though, then again, back then, Knight Armor was pretty rare, full-plate Knight Armor. That's why usually they just did cuirassiers and just get a chest plate. Simple, large sheet metal, or not necessarily sheet metal, one large plate, maybe two, and call it good. One for the front, one for the back. And we got a fire deploy on the field by Drake, which will be used against the bomber. The power there will drain a bit of fuel and funds from Andy. Hyper repair could be used to top off everything's health, but probably really need at the moment. Could probably push forward, get a bit of damage done, take a bit of damage, and get that repaired on up. Drake does have two Neo tanks here still. This medium tank could strike a Neo tank. After that, nothing much will happen. Firing water-soaked rockets at tanks behind trees is hard. Probably. Yeah. Believe it or not, also, being in rain is generally worse than being in snow sometimes. A Neo tank down here. Neo tank does fall back. Bomber advancing. Bomber be a good counter there, but has to be careful of these anti-airs, of course. Take out the anti-airs, and the bomber will have reign supreme. But of course, now Andy does not know about the fighter there, and there's also another anti-air there. So Drake does have a good ground and anti-air force. And Harry now is a bit more on the field as well. So some battle copters. Double battle copter by Drake and a bunch of infantry. It's already pretty painful to use Drake battle coppers, but he is deploying more of them. Andy does have one anti-air in the field, which I usually been saying you don't really need to pull out too many anti-airs versus Drake, but that's simply not the case this game. World War II Germany, understand, rains and snow both sucks hard, yep. For example, invading Russia during the winter. You know what's worse than Russia in the winter when trying to launch assaults? Russia in the spring. Because of mud. Because your heavy panzers get bogged down, and there goes your assault capability. The mud is actually worse to launch assault than the winter, assuming you have proper winter clothes. Hitler and Napoleon both failed to invade Russia during the winter, but Genghis Khan, both Hitler and Napoleon invaded during the summer as well, while Genghis Khan invaded actually in the winter because, as the Finnish know, Russians do freeze to death. A lot. Oh, wait, what the? Oh, we got this little bug here. See this battlecopter at 2 fuel? It technically does get resupplied, but it still explodes and then gets back up to full health. A bit of a funny bug there. I wonder if the Drake actually sees that. And now got a hyper repair active. topping off everything's health, so maybe I'm for a bit of advance. Looks like a hyper repair and a whole lot of nothing happened. Infantry unit does get dropped off there. Battlecopter there. Right now Drake does 26,000. Andy's at 24,000. So strange time for a hyper repair. But he is able to do it and not sustain any additional damage to not get any power charge. If that makes any sense. And another Neotank recon. So now he can generate power charge. Recon gets a good strike there. Tank strikes infantry. Recon or infantry takes out infantry. Meteor takes out infantry. And of course he's got to stop the HQ capture. Totally stops it. Neotank strikes regular tank. Medium tank strikes regular tank. Still good core of Neotanks by Drake. A great attack there by Andy. I don't think this bomber's been spotted just yet. Anti-air is lurking in the woods, but out of range of everything, at least all the aircraft. Medium tank there. Drake's taking opportunity to invade down south. Nothing much here for Andy to stop this. He needs to get out probably just maybe 3 tanks to help deal with this assault. Send maybe these 2 tanks down south. Maybe a 3rd tank there. Battlecopter will be useful, but of course have to be careful about 2 ATRs and the battlecopter. Fire right there. Infantry, and looks like Drake's just pumping out a Neotank every single turn. He does have 27,000 income. Andy right now is 23, so he's able for a Neotank per turn. Andy is pushing pretty far forward up here. Neotanks will be held in reserve. Bomber has a nice screen there. Trying to find an opportunity probably to nuke a Neotank. So it looks like Andy... Oh, I think I just saw another unit, the exact same little bug. Or maybe something actually did get sunk there. Wait, oh no, there's this lander there. I'm not sure what exploded. Recon spots a whole lot of stuff. And the Neotank on top of the HQ. And Andy's losing a lot of ground down south. Neotank strikes medium tank. Medium tank gets picked off by battlecopter. 3 Neotanks there. There's a 4th one there. This recon will spot a whole lot of stuff. Now Drake has gone for bomber self. Drake bomber's course is severely weakened, but should still be quite nice. Andy starts turn 192. Drake ends turn with 161 or 261. So got a sizable advantage for Drake. Power is almost available, while Andy's superpower is almost available. He could charge forward and repair whatever damage he takes. Bomber's going in. Bombs away. Nukes the Neotank. Neotank on Neotank. Will there be a hyper upgrade or maybe just hyper repair? Does go with the full superpower. Mutant tank charge way forward, boosts his range, movement speed, and damage. Takes a battlecopter while at it. Finish off the tank trader there. Tank strikes anti-air. Tank strikes anti-air. Tsunami is now available. I was saying power is almost available. Now the superpower is definitely available. Lots of good kills there. Anti-air takes out anti-air. Leaving 1 full health anti-air in the region. Gets trapped out by the recon. Battlecopters have not made their advance. And he's going to be a bit passive, the battlecopters. Looks like the anti-air does have a path to the bomber there. If he would have placed a battlecopter here, or something at least, could have probably stopped the anti-air from reaching the bomber. That may have been a miscalculation. Though to be fair, this infantry recon anti-air just need to pull back, let the Neo tank nuke the regular tank, and then boom, the anti-air hits the bomber either way. So pops the superpower. Trying to flip multiple properties there, and you can't be letting those properties be flipped like that. And now have Drake's bomb trip forward, and he does have some anti-air nearby. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in range of the bomber. That tank, if possible, should have struck the anti-air there, but some type of force, but it looks revealed, so maybe some visual bug there. Neo tank recon infantry. Drake's in turn of 206,000, and he starts turn of 121, so he's severely behind right now. And no power to equalize it. Does not charge for the anti-air the bomber. Looks like he's just in a bit of withdrawal at the moment. Another medium tank, anti-air infantry. Another tank there. Neo tank strikes regular tank. T-copter infantry. Bomber does take out another infantry unit. Let's get it there in the infantry unit. Anti-air infantry, saving a little bit of funds there. He's at 21,000 versus 29,000. And trying to flip more properties. This one needs to be interrupted for now, but Andy's in an ever increasingly bad position, losing all these properties. Yep, just moving around forces, reorging. Recon gets a strike there. And there. Tank will strike the anti-air. And looks like the artillery may get a good strike on the medium tank. So get a nice opportunity there. Does got some of these outlying units. Neo tank by Andy. Infantry and base skip. He wanted to get out of Neo tank, but now this artillery is in range of this medium tank. Just needs a bit of spotting. Ooh, may not realize he was in range of a medium tank. Now he does. Neo tank strikes Neo tank. I can see a hyper repair being deployed next turn, take a bit of damage and get it repaired on up. Neo tank's taking a bit of a beating though. Have Neo tank strike another target, let the medium tank strike the Neo tank, but of course on top of the force. It was, but looks like he's easily turned it around. I think he's managed to get the power and superpower off sync of Andy's, allowing him to actually get powers and superpower. I think that's a big issue. It's easy for Andy to just get his superpower and counter out his opponent's superpower, and I think he desynced it by popping an early power. So now no longer he has to fight Andy's power and superpower as much. Good strike there. Gets good strike there. Does not finish off the Neo tank. Thought it would. Has enough for hyper repair. They could see it this turn. Got two anti-airs range of the battle copter, so both these battle coppers going down next turn. And there actually may be a possibility of another tsunami this turn. Be a bit of a tall order though, but there's a lot of valuable assets in range of a lot of valuable assets. Oh, does get trapped there. I suppose having one health infantry get trapped is good. Now, this could be a game over. Nope, this infantry's in range to interrupt the capture. Does pop the power there. Bomber strikes the medium tank. We see a hyper upgrade next turn. Another Neo tank deployed in the field. 30,000 versus 20,000. Interrupts the capture, but only by a small margin. Neo tank strikes Neo tank. Nice repairs on the Neo tank and the medium tank. Does not finish off that unit there, but plus one movement allowed him to get plus an actual attack there. ATR strikes the bomber, nukes it. Knocks out the fighter as well. Gets hit there in the infantry. I would say when it comes to Drake versus Andy, I think usually Drake as well as Olaf tends to have the backhand to Andy due to the fact that he can sort of just counter their superpowers of his own and power. But overall, I think Drake's doing quite a good job here. Good shot there. I used to think Andy had the edge in this matchup, but my opinion's changed. The ability to pop your Typhoon and then first strike a bunch of kills of Andy's before you can use get superpower. I think that's what Drake did, yeah. I think Drake's just playing this quite well. He knows he can be at disadvantage, but he's playing around it quite nicely. Andy does have two Neo tanks here. Drake does have a good amount of Neo tanks of various qualities. Fighter there in a great position for a bit of body blocking, while this Neo tank is hidden by being the forest. Neo tank, anti-air, and infantry. Drake ends turn for 216 versus Andy's 108. And finish off the infantry unit there, so the HQ capture is fully reverted. And has good number of tanks to stop here, but looks like got a bit of a front open up for Andy. And try to capture as many props as possible, because it's even worse now. Drake's actually getting pretty close to a capture victory. 32, I think the capture victory is 35. So he's getting pretty close to that. I'll take your word for it. I don't really keep good tabs or really in tabs on tournaments. Another Neo tank, and infantry. Some rounds in the anti-air. Takes the anti-air there. Lander drops off the infantry in there. Lander is also down to 3 fuel, but it's on top of a friendly seaport. Oops. Knocked over a can. Tank, recon tank. Good strikes there. Neo tanks get multiple good kills there. Medium tanks forward. Artillery to provide covering fire as well. So Andy could get some good first strike on 2 of these Neo tanks with his own Neo tanks, but there's 3 and a 4th one here. It's gonna be full health. So yeah, you know the tank matchup where it's like, oh, have a tank support on the tank. Drake has learned the fact that you can do the same thing with Neo tanks. Yeah, this is a bit of a death ball right now. And Andy does not have a power available and has hit the resign button. This is Angrade saying, thank you for watching, and on to the next replay. As I mentioned beforehand, that shall be my last replay tonight. My voice is starting to go out, so everyone, thank you for watching, have a good evening, and get some good rest.